So many of us love hanging baskets. Problem is, some of us battle to keep them alive, and probably the main reason why is that we put them in the wrong place. Remember, hanging baskets need to be placed at a height that we can enjoy them. So it's either eye level or looking down on it. And what if we don't have wall space? And that's another question that I am thrown at all the time when I say, put up a hanging basket. So I've finally come up with a way to actually get around this. So if you're in a rented apartment, if you've got a little patio and you don't want to put up brackets or you've got no space for them, well, we are going to make a little hanging basket unit. So let's show you how to make this hanging basket stand. You're going to need the following pieces of timber to make your hanging basket unit. 2 times 600 millimeter by 68 millimeter by 20 millimeter for the uprights. 2 times 450 millimeter by the same 68 millimeter by 20 millimeter for the top and the bottom. And 1 times 700 mil times 144 times 20 millimeter for the base. Right, guys, to start off with, we're going to make this really simple. And there are only a few steps to this, so stick with me. Remember the 2 shorter ones, all right, that we had. We're going to take one of them, place it down there, and what we're going to do is we're going to take the one, so we've got 2 of them, and I'm simply going to pop that guy on the edge and that guy over there, because I want to get the middle. The easiest way to get the middle is go from corner to corner, and then that's going to get us our center point, wherever that crosses. So pencil, whoop, over there, and then the same on that side there. So guys, we now have the center point here through the 2 diagonals. And what we're going to be doing here is using our little cup hook, because the cup hook needs to go in there, which is where our hanging basket is going to hang from. This is where we're going to be using our little speed pilot. Now, we just want to use this to make life easier. I don't know if you've tried to screw in a cup hook holder. Make life easier, guys, and use these things. Right, the next thing I want to do is put this guy on. But we're going to see, we're going to put him there, okay? How do you get the center? Very easy. We're going to go a centimeter from this center hole, centimeter on either side, and drill straight through, okay? When drilling and working on a countertop, and you're going to go right through the timber, it's always good to have a sacrificial piece of timber. In other words, a scrap piece of timber, so that you don't drill into your lovely counter. Right, guys, now what we're going to do is get your turbo screws, and just to start off, I'm just going to ease them both in. Right, let's have a look. There we go, just about to peep through, which is really what I need. Now we're going to take our little decorative guy, pop him over there, hold it, and then let's get it in. Next up is the little cup hook, and guys, we've pre-drilled that, so nice and easy. In it goes. Right, next up, guys, is that we're going to start with the uprights. Now, that makes sense. Yeah, you guessed it. Those are the 2 longer pieces. Now, before you get too excited about drilling, what I'd like you to do is put them there, line them up, and then just simply using your pencil, just make a mark across there, because this is where we're going to be using some wood glue, and it's also going to help you with drilling your pilot holes. So exactly the same on the other side. Right, so this doesn't have to be perfectly measured, as long as it's kind of in the middle, and you're going to pop 2 screws in there to hold up your upright. Right, guys, so we have got 2 pilot holes on that side, 2 on that side. All we're going to do now is pop it onto its side. Where the area is marked, that's where we're going to put some wood glue. Right, and then get him there, number 1, number 2, and then we're simply going to screw it into place. Alrighty, guys, you worked it out. All you got to do is follow the same process to attach the second piece, which matches this, to the bottom. Alrighty, guys, and now you can actually see that things are taking shape. At this point, before you forget, wipe off any excess glue because it makes your life so much easier when it comes to sanding. So get rid of that there. Right, and then if you're left with one piece of wood, then you're following the DIY correctly. And this guy is going to be your base. So there we're going to measure it to set it up in the center, guys. And let's take that. That is 500. Mark it off so we've got half of that, which is 250. And then we measure this guy over here, which we already know. There we go. That is 400. So half of that is 200. So let's make sure that those lines measure up. They're in the same spot because then we know we are in the center. Okay, guys, once you have got it center, then all I want you to do is just make a few little guide lines over here so you know where to put it back. There we go. Then we can do that because over here in this space is where we're going to put the wood glue, and then we're simply going to attach this guy to the bottom. Alrighty guys, clamps off, and ba-dum. Isn't it looking gorgeous? Okay, now for the fun part. This is where we need to sand it down, get rid of all the burrs, and I'm using a little battery operated sander. Of course you can do it by hand, but this goes so much quicker. Once you finish sanding, a new cloth, and you're going to use that just to dust it off and get off any bits. Give it a beating. Then after that, you're going to take a clean cloth and you're going to give the whole thing a good wipe down with some mineral turpentine. And that just cleans off and really prepares your wood for your wood ock application. Right, folks, now it comes down to the painting. I've chosen a Wood Ock 35. Now, this is great for any exterior. So it's windows, benches, anything that's going to be out in the sun. This is a poly wax sealer. And a couple of important things you need to know. Number one, that you can get it in different colors. So I've chosen the dark brown for this application. And the next thing is that never dilute this product. Now, the next thing is never shake it and handle it like a traditional paint. All you need to do is simply open this guy up and then using a flat paddle, just give it a gentle stir. Always apply a minimum of 3 coats. And remember, when painting, you want to go with the grain. And your first coat, you're going to find it's going to absorb beautifully into the wood. Now, where you find, once you've done your first stroke, and you find that there are still patches, just go over that. Just go over that to make sure that you get as even spread as possible. And thereafter, you're going to take some fine steel wool and you're going to give it just a little buff. What that does is, it just smooths off that first coat. And if you had any burrs or little bits of wood that you might have missed, the fine steel wool does the job perfectly. After that, give it a little dust to get off all the bits, and then with a clean cloth, you're going to give it a wipe down with mineral turpentine. Once you've wiped it down with the mineral turpentine, you then apply your second coat. You follow exactly the same procedure thereafter. Allow it to dry, give it a little whirl with the steel wool, dust it off. Once again, another wipe with the mineral terps, and then your final coat. So that's 3 coats in total. And this poly wax sealer, guys, what I love about it, it is not a varnish. Very distinctly different because it really looks after the wood. The poly wax works incredibly, especially in hot baking sun, because it really does protect the wood. So, final coat on, and we're nearly ready to rock and roll. So the saying used to be, there's a wall for every hanging basket, or a hanging basket for every wall. Well, we've changed it up. We've got a hanging basket stand for many hanging baskets. Guys, this worked out absolutely perfectly. And remember, the point is that it can be moved around. So if you want it here, and tomorrow you want it there, as every gardener changes their mind all the time, I reckon this is a winner. Remember, in terms of care of your basket, it needs to be watered often. So either daily or every second day. And always remember to give it some liquid plant food, and don't forget the deadheading.